You look at the expert, the master, the professional, and all you can hear is that number, 10,000 hours. You do the math in your head, feeling your stomach sink as the years pile up before you.
It feels like staring up at a sheer cliff face, an impossible distance to the summit before you have even started.
You feel hopelessly behind before you've even taken the first step, so you just don't.
So, what does the hustle culture tell you to do when faced with this overwhelming, impossible number?
It tells you to just start grinding. You must simply begin logging all the time, relentlessly. The common advice is to brute force your way to mastery by accumulating sheer volume of practice. You are told to put your head down, ignore the burnout, and just keep adding tally marks to the wall. We are sold this idea that the brain is just an empty bucket, and mastery is achieved once it's full.
This myth is incredibly damaging because it treats all hours as if they are created equal, which is fundamentally false.
It completely ignores the most critical variable in any skill acquisition, the actual quality of the practice itself. This is the well-worn path to exhaustion. This is not the path to genuine, sustainable skill.
You have tried this before, pushing yourself for weeks, only to feel exhausted, frustrated, and no better than before. You burned out because you were told the lie that showing up was the same as getting better. You were taught that simply enduring the passage of time would somehow, magically, translate into nuanced expertise. That busyness is the same as progress, and that your fatigue is a reliable badge of honor. This entire framework is a trap designed to make you fail, keeping you stuck in a loop of effort without results.
The 10,000-hour rule is not a prescription for mastery. It was only a simple observation of averages.
It has since been twisted into a paralyzing myth that forces you to worship the clock. You have been taught to measure the wrong thing, focusing on the duration of your effort. This is a perceptual error. It fundamentally misunderstands how the human brain actually learns complex skills.
The real secret isn't about the quantity of hours you manage to accumulate over a decade.
The secret is the ashband velocity of your learning, which is dictated by one thing: your feedback loop. This is the perceptual shift that dismantles the mountain and replaces it with a simple, clear path.
Stop counting hours. Start evaluating the quality of your attention and the immediacy of your corrections. 10 hours of mindless, repetitive grinding with no feedback is just digging a deeper rut. This kind of practice doesn't make you better, it just makes your existing mistakes permanent. It actively reinforces your errors, making them harder to unlearn later on when you finally seek help. You are just practicing failure. You are cementing bad habits into your muscle memory and neurological pathways. Conversely, one single hour of intense, focused practice with an immediate, high-quality feedback loop is invaluable. This is where you identify one micro-mistake, apply a specific correction, and test the result instantly. That single hour of smart, deliberate practice is worth more than 100 hours of mindless repetition. This is not about hacking the system. It is about finally understanding how the system actually works.
Your brain isn't a bucket waiting to be filled over 10,000 agonizing hours of your life.
It is an incredibly powerful prediction engine that just needs clear, consistent data to make adjustments.
The hustle myth tells you to run a marathon, but the easy truth is about winning short sprints.
You must stop perceiving this journey as one single, decade-long effort that requires heroic endurance.
Instead, you must see it as a simple series of daily experiments designed to get you better data. Your new perception must be to abandon the clock entirely and to instead fall in love with feedback.
Your new perception must be to abandon the clock entirely and to instead fall in love with feedback. The problem isn't your lack of time. The problem is your lack of a high-velocity feedback mechanism.
You do not need to find thousands of hours. You just need to find your feedback loop.
So let's dismantle that terrifying 10,000-hour clock and replace it with a simple, sustainable, and effective feedback system.
This entire new system is not about more effort. It is about applying smarter effort. This system is designed to maximize your learning velocity by shrinking the time between your action and your awareness. First, you must abandon the idea of practicing for 3, 4, or 5 hours at a time.
That is the old model. It is a recipe for diminishing returns and guaranteed burnout. Instead, your new core metric is the focused micro-session, which lasts no more than 25 to 30 minutes. This is not a random number. It respects the natural limits of human attention and your brain's capacity. During this short block, you are not trying to conquer the entire skill, which is an impossible task. You will instead isolate one, and only one, micro-skill that you wish to refine.
Maybe it's a specific guitar chord transition. Maybe it's just the opening sentence of your presentation.
Now, the actual feedback loop itself begins. This is easily the single most critical component. Immediately after you perform the action, you must generate your feedback, which must be immediate and incredibly specific. If you are learning a language, you use an app that provides an instant correction of your pronunciation. If you are practicing a golf swing, you record yourself on your phone and watch the playback immediately.
You must see the gap clearly. You must identify the specific error without any emotional judgment.
This is not a moment for self-judgment or for frustration. It is a moment of pure, objective data collection.
This immediate review closes the gap between doing and understanding, which is where all meaningful learning actually happens.
You perform the single micro-skill, review the data, and then make one small, conscious adjustment.
You are not trying to fix everything. You are just trying to fix one thing. You then repeat the micro-skill with that single adjustment in mind, testing the new result against the old one. This cycle, act, review, adjust, is the engine of mastery, and it replaces the need to count hours entirely. You are no longer mindlessly accumulating time. You are actively accumulating insights and refining your internal model. The next crucial component of this system is something the hustle culture actively despises: strategic, scheduled rest. After your micro-session, you must stop. You must deliberately walk away from the task.
This is not optional. It is a mandatory and non-negotiable part of this system for neurological reasons.
The moments after focused practice are when your brain consolidates the new information and moves it into long-term memory. This is called synaptic consolidation. It happens when you are not actively grinding. By taking a deliberate 5 or 10-minute break, you are giving your brain the exact resource it needs to solidify the gain. Finally, you must shift your perception of the goal away from some distant 10,000-hour finish line. That distant finish line is a complete illusion. It will only ever serve to paralyze you.
Your only goal is to successfully complete 1 or 2 of these focused micro-sessions each day.
This simple, repeatable action is the entirety of the new system you must follow.
You show up, you isolate one small thing, you run the feedback loop, and then you let your brain rest. You are building a sustainable daily process. You are no longer chasing an arbitrary number.
When you focus on the quality of this daily process, the hours will take care of themselves.
This is how you build skill, calmly, confidently, and without the anxiety of that overwhelming clock.
This perceptual shift makes the entire journey sustainable, manageable, and, ultimately, easy. Stop counting the climb.
It is time to get off the mountain of 10,000 hours.
That number was never a map to mastery. It was only a prison for your perception. Mastery is not a function of time. It is a direct function of your learning velocity. Stop trying to brute force your way to skill by accumulating a massive volume of empty hours.
Instead, embrace the simple system of focused microsessions that prioritize immediate, objective feedback.
This is how you build real skill. You build it calmly, confidently, and without the crushing weight of the clock. Trust the process of small, daily adjustments, and let strategic rest consolidate your hard-won gains.
If this perceptual shift helped reset your perspective, you will want to see our next video.
We explore why your lack of motivation is also a lie and how to fix it.